Hello, this is Lady Grace, Oracle, Rune Reader, and Spirit Baby Medium. I wanted to talk today about finding love. So, if you're searching for, a partner, your true love, some people call it twin flames. I wouldn't call it that. But if you've been kind of searching and are you feeling like it's not kind of working out in your favor, I thought I'd pull some cards. I do work closely with a lot of the angelics of that kind of oversee love, even Aphrodite, right? So I wanted to use the Halloween oracle cards due to the time of year, and they're kind of neat cards. So you have Midnight is the first card, the most magical hour of all. So when I pulled this card, I was getting how much are you really checking in with yourself, right? So nighttime is like the time of darkness, so the time of the subconscious or the feminine, right? So a lot of times we're too busy looking at what's happening in our 3D reality and not looking about what's going on in our subconscious mind, right? Or the unconscious minds, which ultimately create reality, okay? So what are you doing at night? Are you spending your time thinking about it's not here, or a specific person not behaving the way you want them to, or whatever it is? You have to step away from that, even just for a little bit, so you can sort yourself in a way. Sort your thinking, sort the way you perceive things, and ask like this is what journaling's for, is asking your subconscious mind or whatever, your higher self, to bring forth the things within you that are not allowing you to love yourself, right? So ultimately, when we're looking for love, if we're not love, like if we're not loving ourselves or love within ourselves, more like love yourself, it's really difficult to find it in the outside world, because the world is a mirror. I'm going to say this 100 times, but once you understand the world's a mirror, you'll understand that midnight, the time of going within in the dark, or whatever, is the power, right? So the light is already manifested. So what you see in 3D is already manifested. But what if you want to manifest something ultimately, you have to go into your imagination, okay? You have to go into the other space of your imagination. But it's hard for you to imagine something that you won't either allow yourself to feel, um, or if you just don't kind of explore it, right? So I'd ask myself the questions. I'd get myself a nice, beautiful journal with beautiful drawings on it. And I would write, okay, is there anything in me in my past or in my relationships, and this is where it comes in with the lamp and remembrance here, okay, that made me believe things about myself or make assumptions about men, women, that kind of thing, or about myself, that I don't deserve love, I'm not worthy of love, all this kind of stuff. Many of it comes from childhood, right? Because their subconscious beliefs are formed before the age 7, right? So you have to kind of just sit with it and be like, ask it to come forward, and it will. Okay, and sometimes it comes forward in your physical reality, and that's not comfortable, but it is what it is, and it'll move through, okay? So journal it. Be like, okay, journal, I'm gonna sit and I'm going to ask these difficult questions, because sometimes it's hard to really examine yourself. That's why when we're seeking something, it's a lovely distraction, right? But you're suffering ultimately, because you're not going to be able to attain what you seek, right? You are what you are, and you attain what you are, not what you seek. If that makes any sense, you'll get to that point either way, because you'll just get to the point where you get so exhausted where you just let go. And that's why letting go, actually, things manifest quicker. It's because you kind of give it space and allow it to finally come forth, right? Because ultimately, you know what you want, right? You don't have to chase it, right? So get yourself a journal, ask yourself these questions, right? Like, what in my past, what were the relationships like in my past? What were my parents' relationships? What were my guardianships? What was my relationship with my friends in school? Was I rejected? Was I accepted? Right? Did I feel like the left out one? Did I lose trust for some reason? These are important, right? Because Again, these beliefs, whether you're aware of it or not, define your reality, which is created in the construct around us, aka the 3D. Okay? So these beliefs, these assumptions will form how you develop the construct around you. Because if you see the world as a construct, as an energy that's been laid out, you know what I mean, like a blueprint of a building, that's what your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions will form. Okay, that's how reality is formed, right? So don't worry about anything outside of you per se. Worry about what's going on inside, because that's what's coming outside. It's the projector. I'll say it again, it's the projector. You are projecting these assumptions and beliefs outside of yourself, okay? Nobody said this is easy, okay? Nobody said this understanding is easy. But I can tell you, when you understand it, you will attain things that you've tried to attain for, like, who knows how long you've been trying to manifest a true love, like 5 years, some people 10 years, you know what I mean? It once you go and have a relationship with yourself, then it will externalize in an actual relationship. You know what I mean? So I would write in my journal, I'd ask that question. Number one, what were the relationships in my past? Number two, what were romantic relationships like in my past? Number three, what do I ultimately believe I deserve? And be honest about what comes forth first. And it's okay if it's not, I believe I deserve it. Sometimes you have to move into knowing this, okay? But if you're programmed, you don't know, right? Sometimes a lot of people don't understand is the reason why it's dark is because you can't see it, but it's still manifesting things in your life. So ask yourself these questions, you know what I mean? Trust the answers. And then when the answers come forth, start to ask yourself, okay, what if this were a lie? What if it's a lie that I don't deserve love? I mean, I come from love, I come from source, so how could I not deserve love, right? So just start to unpack the lie. Just be like, what if this is not true? What would my life look like if I believed such and such and such, okay? So if you go after what you believe now that doesn't serve you, what would your life look like if you believed it, right? If you actually took on that assumption. Could you imagine, right? Because that's where the imagination comes in. When you start to tell the right story, right, then the imagination can expand, right? So you can expand the way of seeing it, right? So then eventually it will again harden into fact, as in it will become your reality, right? But you have to kind of go in first. This is step one of manifesting a love, okay? And then unpacking this stuff so you're aware. But once you're aware, then you go straight into the new story. You don't keep repeating the old story. That one's a hard one. Sometimes you get stuck in that loop, and I have been stuck in that loop before too, I understand. So once you create that story, once you write her out, you got to keep saying it. You got to keep saying it. You got to keep imagining it. And I don't care if you don't see it, because most of the things in the light spectrum you can't see, right? But eventually it will be projected into what you see. So that's what this base reading is for. Journaling. Journaling is a very good tool for many people to uncover stuff about themselves. But the thing is that you have to be careful with is you don't keep uncovering stuff and then moving into this new story. I'm going to tell you that now because it'll stick you in a loop. Rewrite the story and stick to the story. Sometimes I used to rip up the pages of the old story and then write the new story so that I'm saying to my subconscious mind, this is done. This is done. I'm moving on. This is the new story we're telling now, and this is what's going to show up, okay? So this is a beautiful exercise to try when you're trying to find your true love or your partner. But if you want to go deeper and actually uncover some more blocks, I do have a true love oracle reading in my Etsy shop right now. It's well worth what you pay, because I'm very good. My energy is very good at honing in on what exactly you don't want to see or what you can't see. A lot of times just you can't see it. It's so you're so used to you can't see it. So if you want to have more in-depth guidance of how to become that person who's going to literally attract and magnetically attract your partner. My reading's in Etsy, and I also have a little ritual you can do, whatever you want to call it, just a subconscious actions to help your subconscious mind understand what you're trying to get it to do, in that reading as well. So that one is in my Etsy shop below. Hopefully this helped whomever it came across this message. And again, I'm Lady Grace. I'm an oracle reader, a rune reader, and I also am a spirit baby medium as well. Take care.